Good morning. This is Terry from the Frugal Connection. Welcome to my kitchen. This morning I was looking in my refrigerator. I do need to go grocery shopping, and I had some little bits and pieces of vegetables that I need to use up before they go bad. And I didn't really have a plan for lunch, so as I was thinking about it, I decided to make a chickpea salad, and I want to invite you along today as I make this. Okay, so what I have here is I drained and rinsed 2 cans of chickpeas. You could probably use black beans in this as well, but I don't have any, and so this is what I'm using. And I'm just going to transfer these into a larger bowl, set that to the side. And now I kind of feel like you could use almost any vegetable that you want in this that's kind of a salad vegetable. One of the things that I think would work really well in here would be grape tomatoes, but I do not have any. In fact, in the corner of my kitchen over there in a basket, I have a bushel of plum tomatoes, Roma tomatoes that I need to process and can. But I'm not going to use any in this because I kind of feel like they're going to be too big of a chunk for this type of salad. And I do need to process those. And it was probably very dumb of me to buy those because my daughter's wedding is next Saturday and I have been going flat out with preparation for that. So I don't really have time to can, but now I need to because I don't want them to go bad because then that's just throwing money away. But it was a great deal on the tomatoes, and I wanted to snatch them up while I could because the whole goal with this channel is finding ways to eat in a healthy way that are cost effective as well. And so when I see good deals like that on fresh vegetables, I get them. Okay, so what I have now is, as you can see, I just have little bits and pieces of everything. I had 2 carrots in my refrigerator. I have some celery. I had a little, like a quarter of a red onion that I'm going to use. I have some cucumbers that they have a couple of little bad spots. I need to cut those out, but the rest of it is fine. I had 3 ears of corn that I steamed this morning, so this is ready to go. I have a little bit of these little mini sweet peppers left, so I'm going to use those. I have some cilantro that I washed this morning and I'm drying it. And I have 2 limes that I need to use up as well. So let's just get going on this. One of the things that I did this last week is my daughter had opted, her and her fiance, they're not a fan of cake, so they decided they did not want cake for their wedding. But what they wanted was cookies, and I used to bake cookies for the local farmers market and sell them. So in the last week, I think from last Friday, like a week ago Friday, through the following Friday, I made 600 cookies. So that was a challenge, and the challenge was not eating them because I have changed my eating. I don't eat processed sugar. I'm, plant-based whole foods, so I don't eat a lot of animal products, and or hardly ever. If I'm out and there's no other choice, I'll eat chicken or fish, but I generally don't when I'm at home. So it was very challenging to not eat cookies while I was baking them, but I managed. I did sample 1 or 2 and immediately regretted it because I didn't feel good. But the cookies are in my freezer, ready to be pulled out midweek next week to transport to her wedding venue. So that was my big excitement last week. And what I'm doing with this celery is just I'm giving it a little chop, and I'm going to just throw that in the bowl with my chickpeas. And like I said, you could probably use any vegetable that you want in this, just whatever works for you and your taste. And now the onions, I'm using a quarter of a red onion. You could use scallions in this. You could use regular onion, I would think, or more of like a sweet, maybe like a Vidalia onion. Whatever you have on hand works. And you know what? There's been times when I've just used this plain old Spanish onion. It's just I don't use as much of it because it does have a bite to it. And for some of the fresh salads, I think it's a little too it's a little too much. But the red onions or sweet onions work well. Okay, so that's going in there. Now I'm going to cut my carrot into bite-sized pieces. The last couple days this past weekend, I spent putting together little favors for the wedding. And then the last 2 days I have been spent ironing napkins. And I still have tablecloths to iron. And I'm doing the appetizers, so I gotta get that stuff. I have the stuff purchased for it. I just need to put those together next week to be able to transport them. And that was the challenge because her wedding is not local. It's 5 hours away from our home, so trying to figure out ways to transport food is a challenge. But we managed, so we're good. I wasn't going to do a video this week, but since I'm making the salad anyway, I figured I'll just throw up the camera and do the video, and then this way I'm not really missing a week with my videos. Can you believe that summer is coming to an end? And today I woke up and I think it was 49 degrees out. It was very fall-like. So the temperature is supposed to heat back up into the mid 80s by the weekend, but it was definitely does not feel like summer the last 2 days. All right, I think I'm going to just use the one carrot because that actually made a good amount. So I will save this for something else. All right, now I'm just going to take the red peppers and just use the red in this. I'll save that orange one for something, for my lunch. I buy these mini peppers in the bag as opposed to just big red or multicolored ones, just because I use them in salads and I just find them a lot easier, because if I buy a big pepper and I don't use it right away, they tend to go bad and then I'm just throwing money away, and I don't like that. Okay. Get some of these seeds out. And the seeds are smaller in these little guys too. So if I miss a seed or two, it's not a big deal. All right. This summer feels different because normally I am preserving a bunch of food, like canning. But since I've changed the way I eat, I find that like some of the things that I would can, I'm not even eating anymore. Like, jams and jellies. I don't eat sugar, so I have no use to eat those. And so what's the point in preserving them? Just so they look pretty on my shelf, but I'm not using them up. I will make some jam this summer because I do gift people. I give it as gifts. I generally will do pickles, things like that. But again, because I'm not eating as much salt, I kind of am avoiding those type of things. But again, I will do some because my family does not, they'll eat whatever I make them, but they eat more of the traditional diet. So they enjoy those type of foods. And, I love to, I think one of my love languages is cooking. So I like to make things for people that they enjoy. All right. You know what? I'm going to use up that orange pepper too, because there's no point in hanging on to it. Now I'm using cilantro in this salad, but you could probably use parsley. Parsley would work. If you wanted to bulk it up, you could probably add a grain to it, like quinoa. You know what? That does not look good. Let's see what this one is like. You know what frustrates me is when I go to the grocery store and I buy fruits and vegetables and they go bad before I even get a chance. It's not like I'm letting them sit in my refrigerator. Yeah, these cucumbers are no good. I'm not putting those in the salad. All right, well, oh, and I have the corn. Is when I go to the store and I buy fruits and vegetables and they go bad before I even get a chance to use them. And that's just very frustrating to me. And I find that's been happening more and more. I don't know if it's where we're located in the country because we're in Western New York. So I know, things have to get shipped here as opposed to if you live on one of the coasts, you can get things a little faster. But also, we used to live in central New York and I loved it there because we had access to so many farms, huge farms, where everything was grown locally. There was a huge farmer's market that my husband and I would go to on Saturdays. It was located in the New York State Fairgrounds, and they had vendor after vendor after vendor where they would come and they would set up a booth and they would sell their stuff, and I would wander around and I would find the best prices for things, and then I would just go. It got to be a game. Like I would come with $80 cash and see how much stuff I would buy me, and it was a really fun thing to do. But I don't have that here, so I have to work with what we have. All right, I'm gonna cut these niblets up into smaller. I love fresh corn off the cob, but I don't eat a lot of it. It is very starchy. But it's a good source of fiber, and I still enjoy it. Wait, I'm gonna move the carrot out of the way. So probably more corn than I need in this dish, but that's okay. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to take my cilantro and just give this a good chop. I love cilantro, but I find people are in two camps, and they actually say they've done scientific studies that for some people there's something in their brain that makes it taste different than for those of us who love it. Others I've heard say it tastes like soap to them, which I don't find that to be the case at all. I could put cilantro in everything. All right, let me get this. Okay, now I'm going to take my, I have 2 limes here. And they're getting a little old, but let me give this a mix first. I'm going to mix all these vegetables together with the chickpeas. The cilantro smells so good. And then when I'm going to add this lime in, oh, I know what I want to add to this. Okay, another thing that I have here, I almost forgot. Another thing I have is a jalapeno that I think I want to add this in there too. But now I do not want to touch the seeds. You never know with jalapenos. Sometimes I open up one and it just hardly has any heat at all. And then other times, it's like, I did it one time where I was making, I can't even remember, salsa or something, and I was processing the jalapeno, and then I made the mistake of touching my eye. All right, cut this into small little dice. I'm not a big fan of too much heat. I used to love very spicy things, but my stomach can't handle it anymore, and what happens is I'll end up with heartburn. But a little bit of heat is okay. I do like that. And I just need to remember, don't touch my face or my eyes before I wash my hands. And I have a feeling this is a spicier one because I can feel, even just breathing it in, I can sense it. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze my lime in here. This does not seem to have any seeds, so I don't have to worry about that. I love lime juice. It's one of my favorite things, is anything with lime in it. We are on vacation this week and next week, and so this week, because I've been on top of things, getting things done for the wedding and working really hard at working ahead of time, so I'm not really stressed out at the last minute, we were able to get in a couple good hikes this week, and it was very encouraging to me to see the difference from where I was a year ago. I've lost so much weight. I've lost 72 pounds, but what's more encouraging is the fact that things that used to be hard for me are not anymore. In fact, yesterday I kept saying to my husband, "Why are you walking so slow?" He goes, "I'm not walking slow." He goes, "You're just barreling up the hill," which I never used to do. I used to be trailing very far behind and huffing and puffing and struggling to hike up big hills. And so now it's kind of nice that that's not the case anymore. Okay. So my lime juice is all in there, and I think that's enough, and it's going to have to be because I have no more limes. I could actually probably add in some lemon juice, but I don't want to mix the two. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to add in about a teaspoon of salt. I use Redmond's real salt, so I'm going to use a little bit of that. Actually, I think I'm only going to use like a half a teaspoon. I'm going to do some fresh black pepper. I'm going to use a little bit of cumin. I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon of cumin in here. And I'm going to use about a quarter teaspoon of coriander, of ground coriander. And then I'm going to give it a taste test and see what I need to do to it. Now, I don't use oil, so this has no oil in it. I just find that it just adds calories and it has no nutritional value. So I'm not going to put it in. If you don't have an issue with it, then and you want to do that, then go ahead. But I'm showing, the purpose of my channel here is to show how to eat a whole food plant-based diet that's no sugar, no oil, no processed foods, and make food taste delicious regardless. So I'm going to give this a test. Oh, good. Wow. All right. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what this looks like. Okay, friends, there you have it. Chickpea salad. It is so delicious. I love it. And I can't even tell it has no oil in it at all. So it's not necessary. You can, the lime juice, the cilantro, the spices all work together and make just this beautiful, flavorful bite. So I hope you try this and let me know how you like it. Thank you for watching today. I hope you have a great day. I probably will not see you again until after the wedding next weekend because I know I have a lot to do between now and then. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and check out my website, thefrugalconnection.com. It's a way to intersect health with being frugal so that you can cook and eat in a way that is healthy for you, but doesn't cost a fortune. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and I will see you in the next video.